Good morning, everyone. This is Paul from Forex Smart Trade, where we help people become financially independent by teaching them to currency trade with our proprietary indicators and using company money. Glad you could be with us this morning. These Tuesday morning sessions are focused on using two of our simple trade techniques. One is called the thick orange line, and the other is the 10-point trade, which is what we teach in the introductory program. We have other signals beyond those that you get to learn in regular trading. So with that, we have a trade routine. Let's take a look at our daily trade routine. Review of yesterday. So before I start each day, I like to take a look at what I did the previous day, especially on trades that didn't go well. And if you're a new trader, what I would suggest is right when you're ready to take the trade, take a screenshot of the chart you're looking at. Then if the trade doesn't go the right way, you can provide it to me or to Phil, or we can take a look and kind of see what you are looking at and figure out why it might not have gone the way we anticipated. So review of yesterday's trade. We didn't trade yesterday, but we traded last week. So let's pop it up. We took two thick orange line trades, each for 5 pips. One on the USD Canadian, one on the Euro Pound, and both closed. So we had a good day. And just a reminder, 10 pips a day grows your account at 1%. So you don't have to do, if you can do 30 pips a day, you will double your account every 4 months. And if you follow the company trades, you will net 30 pips a day. But just even with 10 pips a day, you will increase your account at 1% if you're following our risk guidelines. Next on our trade routine is we take a look at what's going on in the news. We're technical traders, which means our indicators pick up price action movement and can anticipate when turns are going to happen. So with we don't trade on news. We can't predict how the news is going to impact. So every day we like to start taking a look at the news, making sure that if there are specific news items that are going to come up, we can stay away from trading that currency pair. Today, Tuesday the 14th, the way they break the news down is into 4 categories. One is the gray category, so that just usually means it's a notice that it's a kind of a non-news event notice. So with Easter, a lot of the banks were closed Friday and also yesterday. All the banks are back open today, Tuesday. So if you noticed Friday, the volume was very, very slow and there wasn't much movement in the currency market. In fact, I didn't trade at all. Yesterday, there was a little bit more movement, but still very slow. Today, everybody's back open. Today, they have, well, the other 2 colors or 3 colors are yellow, orange, and red. And red items are likely to move the market. So if we see a red item, we want to stay away from it. On today's calendar, we have G7 meetings all day. That news item is too vague to not trade with, or to avoid trading, because it doesn't tell us at a specific time something's going to happen. So I will be aware of it, but I am going to trade anyways, versus last night on the Chinese currency. they had a trade balance, and they were expecting 175 billion. It was 139 billion, so it was off by 43 billion. Uh, uh, you know, I'm guessing that impacted the Chinese Chinese currency. We generally don't trade the Chinese currency because it's controlled by the government. So we've got really nothing to worry about today. And the technical analysis, we're going to use the 10-point trade right now. So first we're going to start by trying to take a look and see if we can find the signal. And the signal has three parts to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to I've got 18 different currency pairs set up, all on an hour chart. And we're going to look through each pair and see if we see the signal. If we see the signal, then we're going to go to a little bit more detailed analysis, reviewing that technical piece of it. So on the 10-point trade, we start with the majors and minors, which is the middle part of the chart. And I am looking to see if all the lines are either above the blue line, which is the overbought line, or below the red line, which is the oversold line. Right now, euro dollar, we are in the middle of the channel. Pound dollar, we are below the oversold. So if they're below the oversold, the next piece I want to examine are all the lines pointed up and double crossed. Nope, they're still pointed down. So this guy's not ready to turn yet. If you remember, when the lines are oversold, when the lines are down here, that's the beginning of the buy signal. And I want to specifically buy when these lines turn up and are starting to go up. So I don't have that here. Australian US dollar, oversold. The minors are pointing up, but the majors aren't quite there yet. I want everybody pointing up and everybody double crossed. And what I mean by double cross, you see the gray coming over the black line, and I'd like the green coming over the red line. Don't have that yet. USD CHF, we're below the line but not pointing up. USD JPY, we are below the oversold line. My minors are pointing up, but my majors aren't there yet. So it's still premature. USD Canadian, we are overbought. My minors have started pointing down, but my majors are still going up. So still not quite ready. Let's go to next group. Euro, pound, and then back here, since all of these pairs have the dollar in them, I would expect not, it's rare to see, they're all kind of a little bit controlled by the dollar. They're in slightly different spots, but you can see, say, pound dollar, Australian dollar. These two charts are somewhat similar, and going down, and the pressure is somewhat similar. So they're just not quite ready yet. So let's go. This second grouping has mostly non-US pairs in it. So euro pound, overbought, going up. Australian yen, oversold. Minors are going up, majors aren't there yet. Euro Canadian, overbought. Neither are pointing down. Australian New Zealand dollar, we're in the middle of the channel, more than halfway, so nothing here. New Zealand USD, oversold. Minors are pointing up, majors aren't there yet. And Euro Australian dollar, overbought. Minors are pointing down, majors are still pointing up. So we got nothing on our second six. Let's see if we got something on our third six. Last week we didn't find a 10-point trade. Australian Canadian, oversold. Minors are pointing up, Majors are almost there, but not quite. They're starting to move up, but we haven't got the crossover. Uh, 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 dollar, excuse me, Swiss franc, yen. We're in the middle of the channel and we're a little bit more than halfway. If we're a little under halfway, I might think about this, but we are a little more than halfway. Euro yen, we're oversold. Everybody's going up. And we've got the double cross. Green's crossing over and gray's crossing over. The one thing before we go on and continue to, yeah, we'll do the full analysis here. So the one thing I'll tell you that I don't like here is we've got the bend in the green line. The bend in the green line means it's losing gas. It's not strong versus when we have a steep unbent line. But once I have 3 points here, the next thing I do is I go and I take a look at my TNTs, and I'm counting how many lines are moving in the right direction. So this is a buy trade up. So the two orange lines are going up, the thick and the thin. The blue lines are inversely related. So when blue is going down, that means up. I've got the two blue lines going down, so I've got all four telling me buy here, which is good. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4 of the TNTs. Then the last piece, I want to get points from every section. So I've got 3 points here. One that it's oversold, 2 that everybody's pointed up, and 3 that I've got double cross. So 3 points here, 4 points here, so 7 points. But I need to have a point from every group. And now I look at the pressure. Pressure is down, it's a weak down, and red is on top. I want either up pressure or green on top, or both. I don't have that. So even though I've got 7, I don't have a point from each section, so this euro yen isn't a good trade, at least not yet. A pound Australian dollar, I am overbought. I got everybody pointing down, and I got a double cross. So 3 points here. On my TNTs, my thick orange is going down. I get a point. My thick blue is going up. When blue is going up, that means down. So 2 points. But I've got thin orange going up, which is no good, and dotted blue going down, which means up. So I only have 2 out of 4. I need to have 3 out of 4 for this to be a strong enough signal. And again, it goes back to be a good currency trader. We want to have high consistency. To get that high consistency, and high consistency means we win 8 or 9 out of 10 of our trades. To get that high consistency, we want to use all of the information. We don't want to just rely on one piece of information to trade. So here we are capturing information from the 3 different parts of the indicators that are measuring different things. And when we get consistency across the board, it's a good trade. So here on the pound Australian dollar, we don't have it yet. So New Zealand CHF oversold. Minors are going up, majors are going down, so nothing. And Canadian Swiss franc oversold. Minors going up, the majors aren't there yet. So as soon as I see that whatever piece that doesn't give me the information for the trade to go forward, I stop. So right now, all across, we didn't see a 10-point trade. You only need to make 3 or 4 good trades a day to be able to make good money. New traders have a tendency to always want to be trading. You don't need to always be trading. You need to just wait till you get the signal and then take the trade. So we don't have a signal on the 10 point. We're not going to take the trade. So let's take a look and see if we have a thick orange line trade. Thick orange line trade is we want to take it at the top of the hour. And right now we've got 14 minutes until the top of the hour. The reason we want to wait for the top of the hour is we want the signal on the indicator to be fully formed. So we want to have it have at least 50 minutes worth of information in it. So we're getting there, but we're not quite there. But we're going to go across right now and see if we see the signal. If we do see the signal, then we'll be ready to take the trade when the top of the hour comes. And I like to wait till as close to the top of the hour as I can get to take the trade. So on the thick orange line, there's two pieces to the signal besides waiting to the top of the hour. The first piece is we're going to start up here with the TNTs, and we're going to look for this number. This number is the scale of this thick orange line. When it is as high as it can go, it is at 0. When it is as low as it can go, it is at minus 100. So when it's at 0, what that's telling us is we don't think there's much more in the up movement. So that is a sell signal. And likewise, when it is at minus 100, we don't think there's much more in the down movement. So that is a buy signal. So here, minus 11, and I don't have to be exactly at 0 or minus 100. I can be within 10 of either. Here we're at 11, which is outside that 10 range. If this were minus 10, I would look down to the majors and minors, and I'd want to see all 4 of these lines touching or above the blue. So I'd want them to be overbought. So if this is telling me there's no more up, and this is telling me it's overbought, that's a good trade. Minus 98. Minus 98, that's within 10 of minus 100. And I've got all 4 lines below. So that is a good trade. So pound, I'm going to write it down so I remember. So pound USD, and that's going to be a buy. And the nice thing about this trade, off of a 60-minute chart, this is always good for 5 pips. So let's see what else we have, and then we'll go back and take the trade because it's still a little early. Minus 56, that's not within 10 of 0 or minus 100, so we're going to pass. Minus 81 on the dollar Swiss franc, or excuse me, minus 82 on the dollar Swiss franc, not within 10 points of 0 or minus 100. US dollar yen, minus 65, it is not within 10 points of 0 or minus 100. Dollar Canadian, minus 49, no. So right now all we've got is the dollar yen. Let's see what else we, or excuse me, the pound dollar. Let's see what else we've got. Minus 8 on the euro pound. And all 4 lines are above the overbought line. So that is a candidate. So euro pound, that is a sell. Australian dollar yen, minus 34, not within 10. Euro Canadian, minus 13, not within 10. But these lines are pretty high up here. So we'll see where this guy is as we get as we approach the top of the hour. Australian New Zealand, minus 62, no, not close. New Zealand USD, minus 72, not close. Euro Australian dollar, minus 41, not close. So that Euro Canadian is close. I'm going to just we'll keep an eye on him. And we will see. Let's check out the third list. Australian Canadian, minus 35, no. Swiss franc yen -2, that's a yes. And then when I go down and check for confirmation, I've got all my lines in the middle of the channel. So that's a no. I want all the lines up here. So this still has some up in it. 0, that's a yes. But all my lines are down here. I want all the lines touching or above the blue. So it's not ready yet. Pound Australian dollar, -76 isn't close. New Zealand Swiss franc, -70 isn't close. Canadian Swiss franc, -90. And all 4 lines are below. This guy is ripe. So Canadian Swiss franc, and that is a buy. We're overbought. Excuse me, we're oversold, and the -90 is within 10 of -100. So that's telling us that we're kind of at the bottom of the down move. So we've got 8 minutes left in the hour. So I'm going to open up my my chart. So just to refresh, through the green chart, we do our analysis, and then when we're ready to take a trade, we go to the MetaTrader 4 with CoinEx, and we are going to pull up the charts. So the first one is, let's do that Canadian Swiss franc. So to open the chart, I go to File, New Chart, and then I'm going to look through the list to find Canadian Swiss franc. So he's not in the top group. I'm going to go to the second group. Not there. I'm going to go to the third group. Canadian Swiss franc. Here he is. I'm going to open the chart. I don't like this format. So I have templates built so that I can look at it the way I want. So I'm just going to grab one of the templates for now. I prefer that you take the new order using the new order tab on this second row as a new trader so that you don't make a mistake. I'm going to click open new order. Oops, he's over here. Now when I take a new order, let's see here, how do I get it back up here? First thing I do is I check the symbol, Canadian Swiss franc, that's correct. Volume, my volume's not right. We recommend taking, moving this decimal place over 4 spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could take a volume of 0.86. Now I'm going to take one trade at 0.86, but the other piece of that rule is I don't want to have more than 2 open trades at a time at that number. So right now, if I were to take 3 open trades, I would go above what I would put stress on my margin. So I'm going to take the one trade at 0.86 and the other 2 trades at 0.4. Or actually, I could take all 3 trades at let's see, 0.86. I could probably, that's 16, I could take them at 0.55. So why don't we do that? I'm going to take 3 trades and we'll just make them equal 0.55. So what I did is basically 0.86 would be a 1.6, and if I add 0.55 up times it by 3, it's about 1.6. So it's close enough. So we said this was a buy trade. So I'm going to go ahead and click buy. It records it down here, right under the chart. I click anywhere along that chart. It highlighted in blue gives me my order, my time, what I did, lot size, symbol, price. I need to tell it to take profit and stop loss. To do that, I right click, go to modify order. I want it to be 5 pips on this trade. So 5 pips equals 50 points. So I take 5 and add a 0 to it. I click the copy as, and it makes the calculation for the number for me. Right now, we will use 4 times whatever our take profit is for a stop loss. So that is 4 times 50 is 200. I calculate that and put it here. And on these short little scalp trades, I like to get exactly 5 pips. So I look at the number here, 0.6925. If I am going to do a buy, the pip column is this 4th column, the 5. If I add 5 to that, I'm going to go to 0.30. So 30, I'm going to go to 29303 and click modify. Okay. So that trade is in. Let's go back and just make sure the signal is still there for the other two. So we had the pound, pound dollar, minus 82. All right, so we don't have this signal. He's not minus 90 anymore. So he's not here. So, and actually, we lost both pieces of signal. So he's no good. So he's off the list. Let's go to euro pound and see if he's okay. Euro pound, minus 11, and now we're a little shy. Here. So I really want this red line to be up above the blue. So we still don't have it here. Scanning across, we had the euro Canadian as a possibility. He's at minus 14, which is no good. Let's take another quick scan. 13. Nothing that's close. Minus 9, but we're down here. Minus 87. Even on our Canadian Swiss franc, he's lost a little bit. Of what we're seeing. So right now we're going to just stick with that Canadian CHF. Let's stay to the top of the hour. Some traders, rather than looking for the confirmation of the majors and minors supporting what we see here, they wait to see if this number changes by 10 when the hour changes. So we've got 2 minutes to the top of the hour. If this changes by 10 when the hour switches, we'll take a second trade for another 5 pips using the signal. It's just a hair bit off the minus 90. So let's wait and see what happens at the top of the hour and be ready to take the trade. Because we have nothing else, so we can just double up on that one trade for today if it still looks good. Now I'm waiting versus just taking a second trade because it's gone off. It's not quite minus 90 anymore. So we'll see. If this number jumps, it'll still be a good trade, and we'll just be ready to take it. We've got our chart open. So we've got 45 seconds. One of the nice things about currency trading, especially in current times, is you can do it from home, and the markets are open, and it doesn't require a big time commitment. So if you can come in front of your computer 10 to 15 minutes before the top of the hour, take a quick glance across the charts, see if you have the signal. If you have the signal, you do the trade. Now, we haven't had a chance the last couple of weeks to do the analysis on the 10-point trade. There's a little bit more to that. Okay, this has changed. We went to minus 38. Let's go ahead and take another 5. Changed. So new order, and I'm going to change this to 0.86. Buy, because since we're only taking 2 trades. We've got that. And I am going to, orders down here, I'm going to highlight the new order, go to modify. I want 5 pips, which is 50 points, and 4 times the 50 for the 200 for my stop loss. I click the red copy as button, puts the numbers in here for me, and I again like to double check. So 29, 27. If I add 5 to 27, I am going to go to 33. So I'm just going to make this because I want to get my full 5 pips. 33, modify, okay. And we will wait, and ideally within before the end of the hour, I would expect both of these to close. All right, any questions? If you need any help, any assistance, reach out. Until next week, we'll see you then. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.